I think it's interesting. I never really thought of it before, but I do know that I never really look for consensus from my buddies to date a girl. A lot of times you see your friends with this girl like, hey man, is that really that's not the typical girl you usually date, man. But he doesn't care. He's still going to hang out. He's still going to do what he's going to do, So it's like, I think I agree with that. I never thought about it from that angle that there's a pre-selection or some kind of consensus from, other guys or other girls in the opposite sense where, hey, okay, that's a tried and true dude over there. I want him, so he must have something special because the other girl wants him too, that type of thing. I think we're just wired differently. I think in my own experience, I've never really looked for consensus. I mean, you do want, if someone's going to stick around and be a long-term option, you want your friends to like them. You want people who are in your life to like her and approve. But I think, I never thought about that angle, but it makes sense.
I hear you on that. JT, what do you think?
I have to agree. I think by and large, women will kind of look or seek approval from their friend group, from general populace. Men are most often more confident, like, all right, I'm going to go do this. If anything, I mean, yes, you like knowing that the person you choose is desired, maybe. But I want as little people to try to go hit on my wife as possible, right? Like, I don't want her to be like some mud duck or something, but like, that's not how you want it to be. You kind of want it to be your little trophy and then just for your area. I think that's why women go after athletes. That's why women go after the most popular person in the classroom. Like all those things that are like status. Men don't date off of status.
What is he thinking? You are now listening to the podcast that has the answers you need for your love life to succeed. This is
What Is He Thinking?
It seems that men who don't have kids in general don't really want to date women with kids, but women are more accepting of dating a man who has kids. A, do you agree with this statement? B, if so, why do you think that is? That men resist dating single parents more than women do?
I think I'll jump into this one first. I think my thought is, I might approach this a little bit differently. I think it's about where that person is in life and what their options are, man. If you are a 25-year-old young lady, recent college grad, decent job, knowledge that she's got some time to live, she's probably not going to pick young boy NBA to date because he's got 10 kids under age 22 or whatnot, or a Nick Cannon type. Because, she's not at the point where she has to make any kind of rash or rush decisions. Whereas fast forward 20 years, lived a different life, things didn't quite pan out the way they were planned to be. You might be a bit more willing to accept somebody who comes with some baggage in the form of kids, right? I think the same thing might go for guys, but not to the same extent. I think we're just kind of wired to resist having to take care of somebody else's offspring, just being honest, just rules of nature. Whereas looking at the same rules of nature, women are naturally more nurturing, right?
Yeah, that's their general, natural thing. That's what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking.
So that's how I see it.
And the side note, just on this Nick Cannon thing, he's still getting people to sign up. I mean,
the list is long, right?
Yeah, it's getting longer.
Line forms.
He got money. He got money, though. I mean, that is the automatic. And I mean, we all hopefully do well enough for ourselves, but like we know there's a difference between billionaires and millionaires kind of situation, right? But yeah, the one thing I was definitely thinking the same lines as Carl. The one difference I think with women too is 9 times out of 10, women get custody of the kids. If a guy has multiple children, they're usually with the woman. So a woman can date a dude and really not deal with the kids because they with the mom. Whereas a guy dating a woman, those kids gonna be there. Like that's gonna be part of it.
Yes. That's definitely facts. Reyes, what do you think?
Again, it comes down to generally, but I do agree with, I was thinking what Carl said, that just naturally women are just the nurturing type. It's inherent that most of them, I'm not going to generalize them, but most of them want to be mothers, or that natural thing is already implanted inside of them. Whereas as fathers, not so much. Not so much. But I just usually think men don't want to date no woman with kids. I want to have my own kids. And some kind of guys, they just look at it, I don't want those problems. I'd rather create my own problems.
if there's going to be any problems, I want to be the one to create them, not out of sight of my own hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
like that, why you come back sweaty every time you drop off the kids, honey? Oh, just decided to work out. Okay. Why is your wig backwards? Oh, it fell. Why do you smell like Brute every time you go? every time you come back from dropping off the kids.
I'm divorcing you. If you come back smelling like brute, I'm divorcing you right there. Because what kind of bums are you messing with that wear brute?
Alex's point earlier, you as a woman, if you're chilling with a dude that's wearing brute, there's a problem. Your judgment is way off.
Oh, God. I mean, God, what kind of bum is this? You know what I mean?
What was that Eddie Murphy line? Like, the Brute by Fabergé or something? I'm gonna go find that.
Brute, man. That was old school, man. I don't know why.
And I really have to just look at it like, hey, you are really trying me right now. You know what I mean? Like, you coming here smelling like brute. I could at least took the old school curve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least,
I thought he was going to say smell like aftershave. Something. Brute.
you know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Cool water.
Oh, man.
But no, Carl made a good point. I mean, I think, Alex, you know I hate generalizations when it comes to gender and stuff. We be beefing on that all the time, but I think men are very much hardwired like lions, right? You know, like a new lion takes over a pride. I mean, I'm not killing kids. I'm not advocating for murdering children, but I'm saying like they're getting rid of those because they want their own progeny. And I think men feel that way. Like, cool, I'll make kids. I don't want to have replacement kids. You know, it's a difference.
But that's the perfect thing, because when you got your own, you don't hear the excuse, you know, you're not my dad, you can't do nothing with me or anything like that. You know what I mean?
It's one of my nightmares of if I would have stayed with one of these women with kids and I was trying to discipline, you're not my real daddy. And then I just wake up in jail because I don't know what happened.
Pause the podcast.
I don't know what happened.
This can't be admissible in court.
Yeah, just delete.
Oh, boy. So, you fellas have all made some good points. Let me throw my 3 cents in the ring here. Why are women more accepting of dating single fathers than the vice versa? Y'all brought up the point of most of the time the kids are going to be with the woman. So if a woman dates a single father, she's going to see the kid 5 times a month, 5 days a month. While in the reverse, the kid's going to be there almost all the time. That plays a role. And y'all kind of alluded to it, but didn't exactly knock this on the head. So I'll just say it.
Come on.
The financial obligation is different on either side of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Basically, when a man dates a woman with kids, he's expected to financially support those kids to some level. Is that fair? Should she be getting child support? We live in reality, not in shouldville. You know what I'm saying? His money is going to be spent on somebody else's kids. But is the woman's money going to be spent on his kids if she dates a single father? Not nearly at the same proportion, if at all. So why should she care? You know what I'm saying? Her money's still going to be her money. His money's still going to be our money. Y'all heard that before, right? My money is my money and your money is our money. So
unless you're dating one of Nick Cannon's baby mamas, then you know.
You definitely have that going on, which makes it a difference between men and women and who dates a single parent or whatnot. And another thing that no one's really brought up that might just take this conversation in a completely different direction is there's a dating theory out here that I feel is true, that women tend to like pre-selected men when it comes to their dating choices. And men don't necessarily care if the woman they're with is pre-selected. What does that mean? Pre-selected is in how many other people want them. You know what I'm saying? If a man has a bunch of kids, obviously a lot of women deemed him worthy of impregnating him. If a man's married, obviously he's valuable enough to get married. So she thinks something special about him. So something must be special about him. Now I'm more interested in him. 3 years ago when he was single, I swiped left. But now that he's married, he's pre-selected by somebody else. And now this identical guy is now all of a sudden more attractive. You know what I mean? While in the
Back
reverse,
then you didn't want me.
And now I'm hot. You're all on me. But it doesn't work the other way around. Reyes doesn't give a flip if I don't think his wife is attractive. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to not date her.
If I tell him, I don't like dark-skinned women. I don't like blondes. I don't like short girls. I don't like tall.
Okay, that's you. I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't care if the masses of people, you know, like, agree with his selection on it, his mate choice or not. But I feel like women care more about other people's opinions and, like I said, pre-selection. So why do I bring this up? Like I said, having kids is a form of pre-selection. This woman thought enough of you, loved you so much, or you're so good in the bedroom, or y'all were so close that she reproduced you inside of her. You know what I'm saying? Facsimile. So obviously this guy is better than these bums that can't even get laid. So I'd rather date him than these losers. While in the reverse, men don't think that way.
Gotcha.
Like, if I'm the only one that thinks you're cute, that's all that matters to me, and we can make this happen. You're not more appealing to me if you have a bunch of men hovering around you. Actually, it might be a minus. You know what I'm saying? So the way men and women view this is differently. So this pre-selection thing is kind of a factor as to why women are more accepting of men with kids than vice versa, on top of what we've already talked about. What do you guys think of that theory?
I think it's interesting. I never really thought of it before, but I do know that I never really look for consensus from my buddies to date a girl. A lot of times you see your friends with this girl like, hey man, is that really that's not the typical girl you usually date, man. But he doesn't care. He's still going to hang out. He's still going to do what he's going to do, So it's like, I think I agree with that. I never thought about it from that angle, that there's a pre-selection or some kind of consensus from, other guys or other girls in the opposite sense where, hey, okay, that's a tried and true dude over there. I want him, so he must have something special because the other girl wants him to, that type of thing. I think we're just wired differently. I think in my own experience, I've never really looked for consensus. I mean, you do want, if someone's going to stick around and be a long-term option, you want your friends to like them. You want people who are in your life to like her and approve. But I think, I never thought about that angle, but it makes sense.
I hear you on that. JT, what do you think?
I have to agree. I think by and large, women will kind of look or seek approval from their friend group, from general populace. Men are most often more confident, like, all right, I'm gonna go do this. If anything, I mean, yes, you like knowing that the person you choose is desired, maybe. But I want as little people to try to go hit on my wife as possible, right? Like, I don't want her to be like some mud duck or something, but like, that's not how you want it to be. You kind of want it to be your little trophy and then just for your area. I think that's why women go after athletes. That's why women go after the most popular person in the classroom. Like, all those things that are like status. Men don't date off of status.
She was with Bobby, Ricky, Ronnie, Mike. She must be a great woman. I want to be next. I've never heard a guy say that. I've never heard that. Have you heard that, Reyes?
I've heard of that, but it's called something else, though. It's called kind of locomotive type thing, So it's
definitely nothing serious.
Yeah.
It's more drunken high at a party. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, but I think, more people being attracted to you does make you more attractive. So, but that still wouldn't be a reason well, I guess it might be, because like I said, you got guys like Nick Cannon, Future, the guy that has the most kids, 36 by 24 different women? So, I mean...
And that must be the modern record, because wasn't it Genghis Khan or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Like 1/8 of all human beings or his descendants or whatever.
Consensual partners, but
Potato. You know what I'm saying? Tomato.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, I hear you on that. So we're going to bring this topic to a close.